Thank you for publicly supporting immigrants. This is our 14th week standing outside this ordinary-looking office building. We're here because the work that goes on here should never be ordinary in this country or in any society. Inside, ICE agents and DHS officials plan their daily hunting trips. They deploy in unmarked vehicles to abduct immigrants across New England. In the basement, immigrants are imprisoned in overcrowded cells. There are no beds, so immigrants sleep on concrete floors. There are no windows or outdoor time, so immigrants never see daylight. There are no clocks, no showers, no soap, no medicine. Hardly any food or water is provided. The lights are always on, and a single toilet sits exposed in each cell with a video camera mounted above. It can be days before an immigrant is granted a phone call, so loved ones don't know where they are, and most have no legal representation. Lawyers are often denied entry into this building. Throughout the day, immigrants will also arrive for mandatory check-in appointments and await their fate. This is Burlington's own Guantanamo, a place where human rights and constitutional rights are meaningless. We are here because we support the dignity and rights of every immigrant. Now, my ancestors fled pogroms and later arrived as Holocaust survivors. They had no visas, no passports, no money, and spoke no English. If they arrived today, they would be denied entry. There were many at that time who hated my family simply because they were born in another country, and that legacy of hatred continues today. Many Americans actively and passively support our government's anti-immigrant violence. Whether someone is working inside this ICE building, sitting in a large office in Washington, D.C., or performing crowd control for an ICE raid, so many people are motivated to keep their heads down, stay in their own lane, and please their masters. The truth is, they have that privilege because their ancestors crossed lands and oceans so that they could become Americans. We must resist the convenience of generational hypocrisy. Every opportunity a U.S.-born citizen has is because of immigration, not despite it. I choose to honor my ancestors by standing up for all immigrants, and I'm grateful that you're standing up with us. As mentioned last week, Lori and I have formed a Bearing Witness at ICE organizing committee for support as our gatherings continue to grow and more join us in solidarity. I'd like to invite the committee members now to introduce themselves to you all.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Lori. I'm Reverend Andrew Harris. I'm the minister at the Burlington United Church of Christ, which is just about a mile up the road. I'm also one of the lead marshals here today wearing these orange vests. If you see marshals around, we're here to try to keep things safe, keep everything peaceful, to stand in the spirit of non-violence as we're out here today. So if you're feeling thirsty or tired or you need a place to sit, if you have questions, if you see anything that's making you feel unsafe, come talk to someone in an orange vest. We're here to keep everything peaceful and to keep everyone safe to the best that we're able. Now, I'm the minister, like I said, here in Burlington at the United Church of Christ. I believe that I was called to this community to try to stand with all of you to sow seeds of love. And right now, what I see happening here in our community is there are seeds of hatred and division being sown. There's too many people who think that they can draw the line between friend and enemy, between legal and illegal, between right and wrong or good and evil. And we're here to say that we're standing hand in hand, side by side, arm in arm, as brothers, sisters, siblings together, all of us trying to sow seeds of love and hope and peace and justice. So I'm so grateful to all of you for being out here, because together we can make a difference. Together we can show the folks in this building, the folks who are sowing seeds of division and hatred and anger, that that's not the way it has to be. So thank you for standing out here in the spirit of solidarity and love and peace and justice. You all give me hope. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm the Reverend Jamie Hinson Rieger. I serve as senior minister at First Parish in Bedford, and I'm on the organizing team for Bearing Witness. I'm very happy to be here this morning. This experience has caused me to reflect a little bit on my own family's history and this moment in our current history. My grandmother was Canadian. She ran away from home at age 17 so that she could enlist in the Royal Canadian Nursing Corps during World War II so she could resist fascism in her own day. While she was there, she met a handsome and charming American GI who had also enlisted to resist fascism. And they fell in love, and she came to America to start a family. She didn't get her citizenship until after 9/11. She was a green card holder while she raised that family. In modern times, she could have been kidnapped, abducted, torn away from her family, locked up in a concentration camp as her reward for fighting the historical forces of evil and just trying to start a new life and raise a family in a new country. Before that, her father had immigrated from Scotland to Canada. So immigration runs through my family, and also resisting fascism runs through my family. And now it's my turn, and here it is all of our turn. My faith tradition, the great faith traditions of the world, simple human decency compels us to resist the forces of evil that would rob human beings of their dignity, of their worth, of their safety and security, and of the basic right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. And we are here to say no more. A different way is possible. We are going to bear witness, and we are going to resist. Thank you for being here.
Shalom, I'm Rabbi Susan Abramson. I'm the rabbi at Temple Shalom Emeth, which is right next to Andrew's Church, right up the street. And I am here to tell you a little bit about my perspective on all of this as a rabbi and as a Jew. I was born 10 years after the Holocaust ended, only 10 years after the Holocaust ended. And as I was growing up, I saw newsreels over and over again of piles of dead bodies, of people being dragged out of their homes down the street, people being marched to concentration camps for the sole reason that they were Jews. And they were separated from the rest of society. People spat on them, people knocked them to the ground, people were in hiding. I've done documentaries about members of my congregation who are Holocaust survivors. One who was born in the woods outside of Warsaw out of fear of being abducted by the Nazis. Another member who at the age of 5 watched her mother being forced out of her house by the Nazis and taken away to a concentration camp. And another who remembers Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass, when Nazis came and broke the glasses of Jewish stores and pulled the Jews out. When I see videos just right here in Waltham of an ICE agent breaking the glass of a car to pull out an innocent person who did nothing wrong other than the fact that they happen not to be born in this country, it brings me personally back to the situation that our ancestors faced just in our lifetime. And so I am here to say that according to the Jewish faith, we say, do not stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. This is what we are commanded to do. Love your neighbor as yourself. And the Rabbi Hillel said, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? And I can't help but think in these days, what if I was there in Nazi Germany as a non-Jew watching this happen to Jews? What would I have done? Would I have stood idly by? What could I possibly have done? And I think that every single person standing here today is living up to that dictum, do not stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. And so all I can say to you is what we say among the Jewish people, never again. And this is not the Holocaust. This is not a concentration camp. This is not what's happening now is not Hitler's Germany. However, it is the same hate and the same bigotry and the same oppression which is raising its ugly head once again. So repeat after me, never again.
Never again.
Never again.
Never again.
Good morning, everybody. I am John Gibbons. I am the Minister Emeritus at the First Parish in Bedford. I also serve as a community minister in Boston. There is a very short poem that is stuck in my head, and some of you have heard it before. The poem is called Stubborn Ounces by somebody named Bonaro Overstreet, and it goes like this. You say that the little efforts that I make will do no good. They never will prevail to tip the hovering scale where justice hangs in balance. I never thought they would, but I am prejudiced beyond debate. Which side shall feel the stubborn ounces of my weight? We are here to combine our stubborn ounces that we may tip the hovering scale where justice hangs in balance. My life is a little complicated these days, and I need not go into it, but my hunch is that many of you have complicated lives. I am living temporarily in an apartment a few blocks from here. I live with people I love. Last night, I slept in a bed. This morning, I got up, I took a shower, I brushed my teeth, I used the toilet behind a closed door, and there was not a video camera hovering over me. I had breakfast of fresh blueberries. I am well cared for. I have access to health care. I have many unmerited privileges. I also have rights. We have rights. And among our rights is the right to gather here, to stand up for justice, to combine our stubborn ounces that we may tip the hovering scale where justice hangs in balance. Good to be here.
We are so grateful for our organizing committee. I'm Lori Barerisen, one of the founders of Bearing Witness at ICE, and I just want to share some logistics and safety tips for today. The First Amendment of the Constitution gives us the right to peaceably assemble, and we have the right to protest outside this building as long as we do not block the entrance or traffic. We must remain committed to peace and nonviolence in our speech and actions. This is critical if we are to continue growing our movement, because peace is always more welcoming than violence, and we must welcome everyone, regardless of their views on any other political or social issues, so that we can stand together to support immigrants and their rights. We will stand or sit with our signs on the grass, keeping the sidewalks clear for passersby. We aim to fill these grassy areas along the street and the ICE building here. We want to be sure that all immigrants arriving in vans and checking in for appointments, and everyone inside this building, both immigrants and ICE, see our signs and know that we are here bearing witness. We'll also turn the speaker to face the building, and if you'd like, you can come up and have a turn reading the key amendments of the Constitution and the definition of due process. All federal agents and officials swear an oath to the Constitution, and we want to remind them of what they're violating. Today, we'll be extending our gathering from 1 o'clock to 1:30 to accommodate the schedules of a group of medical professionals who will stand with us and speak about how ICE actions are harming our healthcare system, and we look forward to hearing from them. With that in mind, we'll start our march down District Ave earlier than usual. So at 12:15, we'll walk very slowly on this side of the street, remaining on the sidewalk and grass. We'll march very slowly down to Mall Road. We'll stand on the grassy corner there along the main street for a bit, and then walk back to this office to hear from our special guests. Our time here bearing witness also involves self-restraint. There is nothing an ICE agent or Trump worshiper can say to any of us right now that would persuade us to suddenly support rounding up immigrants. Likewise, our attempts to engage with those who hate immigrants will only escalate the situation. If we are insulted, we must remain who we are and remember who we're here for. Above all else, we're here for the immigrants. This isn't about us or our egos or our individual pride. If you do encounter any troubling behavior, please walk away and notify one of our marshals in the orange vests. If an escalation does occur, you can remove yourself from the situation or kneel down to isolate the individual causing the disturbance. If any violence occurs, do not hesitate to call 911. The Burlington police have been very supportive of our constitutional right to be here and have advised us to call if any issues arise. While bearing witness, ICE agents and others may be recording us with their phones. They have that right, and we also have the right to take photos and record, so please do so. Throughout the day, we hope you'll visit the resource tree. You'll find a flyer with a QR code to join our email list. There's another QR code that links to a growing list of immigrant support resources, and there are bins to donate food and other items to immigrants. We have extra signs and flags to borrow, a first aid kit, and water brought by our gracious volunteers. Please stay hydrated. It is warm today. I'll wrap up by asking you 3 questions. Do you support immigrants?
Yes!
Do you support the Constitution?
Yes!
Are you committed to nonviolence?
Yes!
These values are what motivate us to take action, and we're so grateful that you support them too. Be safe, take care of each other, and thank you for standing together with us in solidarity.